my website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. How do you learn songs? How do you learn 10 songs in a day? Because most of us are confronted with that task at some point of our, we're playing with a new band and we have to learn a lot of songs to get into it. And so what do? The worst thing you can do is sit down with a piece of paper or an iPad and then read your way through the songs and then play them from start to finish over and over again. That will not teach you the songs. Instead, you use a very effective technique, a very effective technique. And I'm going to show you now. Sorry. And it's something I developed because maybe it's out there already, in a book somewhere. But I had to develop it because I couldn't, retain information when it comes to and I was really bad at it. So bad that I couldn't play anything. I had a relatively high level of skill, but I couldn't play a single song on the instrument because I couldn't remember anything. So what I did was notice that when you learn something, first of all, you have to be focused on what your task is. You can't just sit down and play the song. It's not going to make you remember it. You have to practice what you want to learn. So if I'm practicing remembering a song, don't play it, right? Remember it. So what I did was that instead of just playing through it, I took the first 4 chords and I connected those chords to the lyrics. So I learned the lyrics as well. And I watched how the chords looked on the fretboard. As I was singing the lyrics, I was looking at my fingers on the fretboard. So I had something visual that was connected to the song, the text, the lyrics, right? And the chords I was playing over and over again. But it took me 30 seconds to do that. 4 chords, you learn, C, G, D, whatever. You learn those 4 chords, you play them in a loop, and it takes you seconds to learn those 4, and then you go over the text, and then you look away, and then you play it without looking at the chords, the notes, the whatever you have, right? So, and that takes you very little time, like seconds, minutes. And then from there, I moved on to the bridge and the chorus. And I was singing the text. It's just the first verse and the chorus. You don't have to learn the whole song, but you have to connect everything in your brain so you remember in more than one way, right? Very important. So now I had the verse and the chorus, but then when I returned to the verse, and that now we're on 4 minutes of practicing, 3 minutes perhaps, right? Then I learned the verse, and okay, it's got 3 chords or 8 chords, whatever. Then I played those, and I returned back to the verse and said, okay, can I remember the verse now? Right? Because now I loaded the 4 chords into my short-term memory. Then I practiced something else, so my short-term memory had to be emptied first. So the brain went, oh, okay, let's get rid of that. And then I started learning the new, the chorus. And then once I go back to the verse, can I remember it? Can I remember the words, how it looked? And if I can, cool. But I have to, just try, right? If I can't, I'll try to do whatever I can to remember it. Where did I put my keys? I went to the grocery store and I must have had my keys because, like that, using effort, right? What was that? And then the lyrics was and the melody went, right? I really try because then when I look at the paper or the iPad or whatever you're using, then you go, it was an F, right? You try, is it a C? Was it a B flat? No, F major, right? And that, it's like that little revelation there really embeds that piece of information even deeper into your brain. The second I could remember the verse again, I went on to the chorus, right? And now we're on 5 minutes perhaps, max, right? This is so fast. So, and the minute or the second, I could go back and forth between the verse and the chorus and the bridge, sing it over and over again, same lyrics all the time. Then I moved on. Okay, now you have 1 unit. you have one song there. You might have to remember a form as well. And if you want to do that, don't play through the whole song of A, B, A, B, A, B, C, A, B, right? You play verse, chorus, solo, what's the chorus? And, you try to, if you're focused on learning the chords, then, and you want to learn the form of the song, the verse, chorus, the bridge, whatever pieces are put together and in what order, do it rapidly. Go, okay, verse, chorus, bridge, and then comes the chorus. Okay, bam, I got it, right? Next song. And you have to stop the second it's in your short-term memory. Next song, I take that, I learn that in the same way, and I focus only on that. Once I am at the same place where I can remember it, I go back to the first, without referring to my notes, to my chords. And I try to remember it, all with everything I got in me. And if I can't, I look back in the paper and go, oh, it wasn't, well, right, oh, yeah, sure, that was the word, that was the chord, whatever, right? So I go back, I constantly learn something, load it into my short-term memory, and it's the second it's there, I stop. I don't go on and on and on because I learn nothing by doing that. The only place I'm learning is when I remember it, forget it, remember it again, forget it, because the brain hates that. The brain is a saver, trying to save resources all the time, always trying to do that. So when you try to remember something over and over again, the same piece of information, you return back to it over and over again, and you can't remember it, the brain is going to put it in your long-term memory. That's what it does. Okay, this takes up too much energy. Let's put it in the long-term memory so he doesn't have to do that anymore. That's how it works. So you're not learning anything by playing the same chords 1,000 times because it's in your short-term memory. Why would I put it in the long-term? It's only the loading, the learning and forgetting that does the trick. So I move on to the second song, learn that, right? A couple of minutes, back to the first one. Okay, now I go on to the third song because now I can go back and forth between the two, right? The first song and the second song. Just the verse, the bridge and the chorus and the form, right, of it. Then I move on to the third and the fifth, and I go back and forth between these two. Then I revisit number one a couple of times in the process, but the farther away I get from number one, the more rare it is that I revisit it because I can remember it each and every time I go back to it. And so pretty soon, by using just a couple of minutes on each song, depending on where I am and how hard I have it, my technical abilities, if I have to use resources on that too, that of course takes time. But just the remembering part, once I have, get to the 10th song, I should actually be able to remember them all, but then I start creating a loop of trying to forget it, trying to mess with my memory, trying to play two songs that look a little bit alike to confuse my memory back and forth, to try and, to have more of those experiences where I go, remember, right? Because my brain tries to save resources, and the more effort I use actually remembering what I just learned and what I have forgotten because of something else I put in my short-term memory, the faster it goes. So load stuff into your short-term memory, get it out again by scrambling the memory of it by loading a new song into your short-term memory. Then return back, right? And within each song, you learn the verse, then you learn the chorus, then you forgot about the verse, back and forth, right? And as I said, it's very important that you understand that this is a fast process, that you only practice to the point where you can remember, and then you get rid of it, then you get on, and then you relearn, forget, relearn, forget, relearn in a circle, right? Until you have them all 10, and then you revisit the 10 songs more and more rarely. So, you practice it in the morning, move on, you got the 10 songs down, and then you go back and revisit them. Learn a couple of new songs and go back and revisit them over and over again until they're absolutely embedded for life even in your system. So that's the way to do it. Work your brain. And make sure that you don't spend unnecessary time just playing chords that are already in your short-term memory. It has to be hard all the time. You have to use effort here, right? To learn the 4 chords, and that takes some energy. Once they're there, bam, move on, right? Then you will absolutely learn songs 10, 20, 30 times faster than if you're trying to just play through them, which will almost bring you nowhere. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.